What's up everyone, and welcome to this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed that little b-roll sequence and edit that I shot. I definitely enjoy doing that a lot more than these talking headshots. But I hope that at least that I'm getting a little bit better with each video at talking in front of the camera. I'm really used to being behind the camera, so with anybody I've ever worked with that put in front of the camera, I just want to let you guys know that you guys kill it. Before we start with this video, I want to say that we are already at 50 subscribers. It's a lot faster than I expected, but for the year, I think my goal is going to be going to get 1,000 subscribers. You know, I definitely hope that we get past that, but for the year, my aim is 1,000. So I hope we can get to it. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post, and hit that like button if you enjoy the video. So without further ado, let's get into this iPhone 12 video. So today we're going to be looking at the iPhone 12 and some of my first impressions coming from the iPhone 11. Today we're going to talk about some major differences that I found when comparing the two, and also some minor differences. So if you're in the market, if you're coming from like an 8 Plus, a 10, and you're trying to decide between the two, these are going to be some things that aren't too technical, but some things that I immediately noticed, and some of the things that I actually feel that are important, and not getting too much into the details. So the major differences that I found between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 had to do with the design and its physical features, the display, the durability, 5G, and the accessories that came in the box. The minor differences that I found deal with the camera, the A14 chip, battery, and the MagSafe. So of course, one of the more obvious differences between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 has to do with the design and physical features of the 12. The 12 has, of course, the flat edges versus the rounded edges that the iPhone 11 has. But initially getting it out of the box, you definitely feel the differences in size and weight of the iPhone 12. Apple actually says that the iPhone 12 is 11% thinner, 15% smaller, and 16% lighter. And looking it up, that 16% equals out to be an ounce. So the iPhone 12 is an ounce lighter than the iPhone 11. And that's actually was my very first impression when I felt the phone, was how small and light it was compared to the 11. And that actually gave me kind of a cheap feel to it, just coming from an 8 Plus and an iPhone 11. Just having a heavier phone gave me a more premium feel. So at first I was actually very sketched out, especially without a case. It just felt very cheap. So the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 11 actually have the same size display. They both have a 6.1 inch display. And I really was surprised when I found that out, when I had to look it up, when I felt how small the phone was. But the bezels on the iPhone 12 are just a lot smaller than the iPhone 11. And also talking about display, one of the major differences I found was also with the display that the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 have. The iPhone 11 has the Retina LCD display, while the iPhone 12 has a Retina OLED display. And honestly, coming from the 11, I didn't ever notice how different the colors were until I put two 4K videos next to each other and saw that the blacks were a lot deeper, the colors were more vibrant, and I even saw that the text was a lot sharper. So that is actually a pretty big difference once you actually see it. So in talking about the screen, that brings me up to my next point, which is durability. Now this is a major difference between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12, because the iPhone 12 comes with a ceramic protecting on the front screen. And this is supposed to make it 4 times more durable than the iPhone 11. Now, I'm not going to do a drop test with my phone, but I've definitely seen a lot of YouTube videos showing people dropping it from 8 and 10 feet without the screen cracking. Now, if you're looking to upgrade and you're choosing between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12, I believe this would be, for me, what makes me choose the 12. So my next major difference has to do with 5G. Now, I have Sprint, which is now part of T-Mobile, and I've actually had really good signal in very specific places, but in general places I have just okay signal, and a lot of places I have no signal. But with the new 5G, I've noticed that in those places where I don't have signal at all, I'm actually getting signal now, and so I believe that's one of my major pluses in getting the 12. So now for the minor differences that I found between the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 have to deal with the camera, the battery, the chip, and MagSafe. So starting with MagSafe, even though it only comes with the 12, I don't really have the need for that super fast charging. I just use the regular lightning cables and the wireless charging pads that I have, so that didn't really make a difference in my decision-making process. Now for battery, I know that the iPhone 12 actually has a smaller battery than the iPhone 11, and a lot of people's studies have found that the iPhone 11s last longer than the 12, even though the 12 is a little bit more efficient. But in my experience, I really couldn't tell the difference, and if anything, I would choose that the iPhone 12 lasts a little bit longer. So in looking at it that way, that wouldn't help in my decision-making process. Now for the chip, if I didn't know that the 12 had the A14 chip and the 11 had the A13, I really wouldn't know the difference because they're both as responsive as the other, as snappy. And it really, I think that's because even for the A13, it's ahead of its time and can handle any app in the App Store. Now, surprisingly for me, the camera, it was kind of a letdown for me, and I actually had to look up the differences between the cameras between the two. And the differences comes in the night modes and the HDR functionality of the 12. The iPhone 12 can do HDR, Dolby Vision on video mode, and the night modes can work on ultra wide and on selfie camera on the iPhone 12. I personally have only used it a couple times, but if I wanted to take some really nice photos, I would probably just use my camera. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for 50 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I post. And I'll see you guys in the next one.